as they enter this 108-pound fight.
That's an almost unbelievable edge. When you consider the size of these fellas, for him to come in at 9 pounds, that's almost 8% of their body weight.
It would be particularly daunting to Luna if he knew it, it seems, because he has told us that he expects to be the aggressor in the fight. He wants to go right at Arce.
Well, that's a significant difference in weight when you're coming with that type of weight, especially with a good fighter.
They operate from range in the early going. Already you can see some of Luna's orthodoxy as he turns his body this way and bout, gets ready to throw wide arcing punches, but lands one. And early on, it appears that Arce, with his shorter, straighter punches, ought to be able to beat Luna to the punch.
Yes, he is. Right now he's primarily just beating with a simple straight jab. But neither one appears to be that exceptionally fast to be small guys.
Which may explain the most serious of the 3 defeats on Arce's record, which was he was beating the great Michael Carbajal through 9 or 10 rounds and got knocked out basically with 1 punch.
Cut above the left eye of Jorge Arce here 2/3 of the way through the first round, or halfway through the first round. And he's bleeding from above the eyebrow.
It's going to be interesting to see how the cut is going to be ruled, whether it was from a punch or an accidental butt.
Yeah, Vic Drakulic will tell us that at the end of the round. And I said above the eyebrow. Now I think the cut is actually on or below the eyebrow, which makes it a little bit more threatening because the blood could flow into his eye. And that cut is in a position where it could have come from either a butt or a punch.
Yes.
The question now is whether his corner is going to try to protect his title by trying to get out of the fight, or whether he can come on and try to end the fight himself.
He's got a good cut man, Miguel Diaz, kind of guy who knows how to keep a fighter in a fight.
Why don't you clarify the rule on this, on a cut, if it happened from a punch, Harold?
They start to swing away now as round 1 comes to a close, and what a sense of urgency toward the end of the round.
And he is indicating that it was a punch.
It's yours. Tuck it down.
Seeing the blood could certainly energize Luna, because he now has a chance to take a title away from someone he was a sparring partner for.
But what I can gather watching the way the fight is going, I think that Luna's just entirely too slow and weak. I think the weight difference is going to be a big factor. He looks so weak to me, and he doesn't have the speed to neutralize the weight difference.
And Arce goes to the body.
But what he can do is work on the eye.
Yes, I think, as you said earlier, Larry, I think he has a good cut man over there, Miguel Diaz, and he should be able to control the bleeding, I believe.
Gentlemen, I'm told that we didn't have Harold Letterman's microphone open when in the first round he clarified the cut rule. So now that you've had a good rehearsal, Harold, clarify the cut rule for us one more time.
Okay, Jim. If the fight gets stopped because of that cut, Agustin Luna wins the title on a TKO because it was caused by a punch. Had it been caused by a headbutt, since it was before the 4th round, it would have been a no decision.
And there's a hard right hand by Luna across the top.
And as I said before, the only one that can determine a punch or a headbutt is the referee, Vic Drakulic. He said it was caused by a punch.
You know, fighting in this division has been typified in the last several years by the artistry of Ricardo Lopez. There ain't much artistry in here tonight.
There's no artistry tonight. This is nothing but a brawl between 2 little small guys. I think the bigger guy is going to win the brawl.
Well, he's got the urgency of the cut. And now he is responding by hitting Luna with hard punches, both hands, left and right. Luna, who told us he'd be the aggressor, has been backing up from the opening bell. So clearly he's felt the difference in Arce's power and his own.
But he's doing the best he can.
Now Luna stalks as Arce sets up. Hard left hook by Arce. Luna stunned, trying to hold on.
Yeah, I've been waiting on that left hook to land. He's been barely missing him with the left hook all night. Because Luna keeps his head straight up for a left hook whenever he's trading.
Oh, there's another good left hook, and down he goes. That punch is going to be the difference in the fight. You can see it immediately.
5, 6, 7, 8. Finger kick.
Well, obviously there's a sense of urgency from Arce because of the cut.
Oh, another big left hook. And the sense of urgency has served Arce well in this round as he lands left hooks and body shots to put a lot of physical hurt on Agustin Luna.
Every punch is hurting Luna now, even the body punches, are just because you can see the weight and the strength.
Agustin, no me baje las manos, por favor. No me las baje.
Don't lower your hands. Why are you lowering your hands? Give him some water.
Te queda.
What's the matter?
Sí, no le baje las manos.
First round, here is the punch that opened up the left eye of Arce. A straight left jab on the corner of the eye. You can see Arce immediately sensing that there was blood coming out of his eye and dabbing at it. There you see in the second round, once again, Arce, but now taking his old sparring partner and putting him down.
CompuBox numbers, the first round was relatively even, but in round two, Arce landed 31 out of 52 power shots, landing his power shots at a 60% rate. If he keeps that up, fight won't last very much longer.
If Luna had the ability to box, it would serve him well just to stay away and stab at the eye.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that ability to box. It's very slow for a small guy.
Oh, there's a hard right hand, and Arce's power is really taking over the fight at this point.
I mean, they look like two guys from different weight classes.
Yes.
And that's what you have when the weight classes are separated by 3 and 4 pounds.
So that's common right now. 109, 112, 115, 118, 122, 126.
And you may think to yourself, as the layman sitting at home, well, 3-4 pounds, how could that make that big a difference in punching power? But in this sport, we see it all the time. I mean, classic case, Danny Romero, kid dynamite at 115, not a big hitter at 122.
That's correct, and in particular in view of the fact that you have almost 30 hours from the time of the weigh-in to gain up to, in this case, you're almost 15 pounds, 13 pounds. And then some guys actually do that.
So what does that make the over-under on how much Morales will have gained overnight, Larry?
I will make the over-under 138.
So 12 pounds. I might say 15. I think it could be as high as 140. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hold it, stop. That's the second time on low blows. Keep the punches up. Let's go. You keep the punches up. Let's go. Box.
See how slow Luna has become in just 3 rounds.
Break. Break.
Because when a guy's whacking you, it's hard to commit to your punches.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
That time with the straight right hand.
7, 8. Okay, I want you to walk to me.
Now let's see if Luna's too brave for his own good.
Box.
Arce just pulling him and overpowering, and Vic Drakulic, after watching that last solid right hand, makes a good stoppage of a one-sided fight.
Very good call.
So, Agustin Luna got Jorge Arce's attention with a jab that cut his eye in the first round and may have accelerated his own demise as Arce reacted with urgency and a sense of purpose. And the last knockdown, Emmanuel.
Tremendous straight right hand, a lot of follow through and body weight behind it too.
Luna, not a guy who defends himself very well. They must have been matching him exceptionally well during this 12 out of 13 fight streak that got him into this position. And here's the action that preceded the stoppage as Arce was just bulling forward with no concern whatsoever for what was coming back. That right hand was enough to convince Drakulic.
Yeah, the referee did a wonderful job, and it was not too soon and not too late. Perfect timing on the stoppage.
Right. The point had been made. And I think we were about to discover, as I had suggested, that Luna was going to be too brave for his own good.
Yes, he would have kept fighting all the way until he possibly been knocked out cold or seriously hurt.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vic Drakulic steps in and calls a halt to this contest. The official time, 2 minutes, 13 seconds of round number 3. The winner by TKO victory and still WBC light flyweight champion of the world, Jorge El Travieso Arce.
A happy Jorge Arce. He never stopped talking in our meeting.